As a business owner, you know this. If you have an unprofitable growth funnel, if you cannot reach new customers, convert customers, or keep customers in your business, then you're out. Your business will fail. So if you know any of these struggles, then I've got something for you. A powerful 5-step framework. A framework that will help you grow your business and increase revenue by helping you create an effective growth funnel that attracts, converts, and retains customers. Today I'm going to show you why you should use this framework, how you can use it to increase your revenue, and I'm going to give you pro tips and insights that you can use to build the business of your dreams. Let's get started, shall we? Welcome back to Design with Value, where I will help you build a successful business with powerful strategies, marketing and design. My name is Oscar, pumped to hang out with you today. I hope you're well. So what is this magical framework that is supposed to be so powerful? It's called the AARRR Framework, or some people call it the Pirate Metrics Framework, the RARRA Framework. Well, I'm not that much of a pirate myself, but you get the idea. So this is actually one of the most popular systems for startups and SaaS companies to measure growth and success. But hey, you don't have to be a startup or a SaaS company to use this model. It actually doesn't matter what business model you have. You can use it as well to improve your growth funnel and maximize revenue. The Pirate Metrics Framework was introduced by David McClure, founder of Practical Venture Capital. And the reason why this framework is so powerful is this. It splits your customer lifecycle into 5 different phases: acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. And that's where the name comes from, the RARRA framework. And each of those phases are then matched with very specific metrics. And the framework helps you to identify which parts of your customer lifecycle are performing well and which parts of your conversion funnel you will have to improve later on. But let's have a look at the framework in detail and let's see what the different phases represent. AARRR stands for the 5 phases in your customer lifecycle: acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. There are different versions of customer life cycles out there, but if you consider these, you have everything you need. For all the different stages, you need to ask yourself different questions to get the most out of your funnel. So we start with acquisition. In the acquisition phase, you need to ask yourself one important question. How can we make customers find us? In this phase, there is one thing that is super important. You need to understand your customers, your personas. To put it simple, personas are your potential customers, the people who later use your service or your product. So you need to understand how they think. If you don't know to whom your service is valuable to, then how are you going to acquire new customers? So that's the first thing. You need to understand your target audience. But I've got something for you. To better understand your customers, you should always ask yourself, what keeps our customers up at night? This is super important because finding out what frustrates your customers is key to understanding the actual problem and crafting a compelling solution. If you don't fully understand that, you run the risk of creating something that has no value to people and that nobody's going to pay for. Been there, done that. The next question you need to answer to better understand your customers is, what motivates them to solve their problem? What you don't want is to create a solution to a problem that has only very little value. But if you find a problem worth solving, a problem that your target audience is really struggling with, then you're on the right track. So knowing what drives your customers helps you find out what is most valuable to them. And the last question to understand your personas is, what's the desired future state for our customers? I really love this question because it forces you to think on a deeper level. So think about what your customers are trying to achieve and what success means for them. Your job is then to make them successful. So the acquisition phase is about marketing and reaching your target audience. Knowing who your customers are is important, but you also need to know which marketing channels will work best. So some additional questions you need to answer are, how many customers can we reach with this specific marketing channel? Keep this in mind. You should always focus marketing channels that have the highest potential. For example, if you publish offline ads in magazines and only 100 people read that magazine per month, your reach is naturally low. So go for channels that are highly scalable. But on the other hand, it does sometimes make sense to focus on a small target audience. But only if these are your high-paying customers, the ones who would invest a lot of money in your business. But most of the time, you want a high reach that's easier to scale. Are we getting the right customers? You need to have a clear idea about your target audience, about your personas. If you want to please everybody, you will spread yourself too thin, and in the end, nobody's going to buy from you. So think about who your customers are and which channel will help you reach them best. Hey friend, we get back to the episode in just a second, but I wanted to give you a gift for hanging out with me today. I want to give you my 3 powerful worksheets for your business success. These are 3 worksheets that will help you improve your sales funnel right now. You can print them out, put them on your desk, and use them as you work on your business. It does not matter if your business is already established or if you're just starting out. You will learn the key questions to accelerate your growth. You will learn all about the different metrics you need to measure your success. You will learn how to improve those metrics, and you will learn about the different marketing channels you can use to get new customers. You will be able to take massive action towards building a business that you love. Now, these are PDFs. They are fast, they're easy. Those are not ebooks, so it won't take you a lot of time. It's more about taking action and doing the right things in the right order. So go to designwithvalue.com/gift and download your powerful worksheets right now. It's designwithvalue.com/gift. Now back to the episode. The next phase is the activation phase. Here you need to answer the question, how can we turn acquired customers into active customers? In SaaS, which stands for software as a service, you not only want to get new customers, but you want them to use a service regularly. Think, for example, about Netflix, a classical SaaS business. Netflix wants you to watch series on a regular basis, because if you don't, they run the risk of losing you as a paying customer. So in business, getting people to regularly using your service is super important. So in the activation phase, it is about creating an exceptional user experience and providing value. You should always ask yourself, how can we provide an exceptional customer experience? How fast can customers find value in our service? What do customers value most in our service? What steps would an ideal customer take? But I also want to give you a pro tip for custom activation. To make it simple, you want to show customers the value of your product as fast as possible. You want to get people as fast to the aha moment as possible. The aha moment is the moment when customers first realize value in your service. When they are like, oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. That's super valuable. So your goal is to get people to this aha moment as fast as possible. So for example, if you find out that most people who did not interact with your core feature leave your service after a short period of time, then your goal is to get more people to your core feature. The next phase is the retention phase, which means keeping customers in your business. The main question here is, how can we keep customers coming back to us? Retention is obviously a super important component of every business. In the end, you don't want people to just leave your business. But retention is especially important for SaaS businesses because that's their lifeblood. And here is a secret I want you to know that many people miss and why retention is so important. It is much more expensive to acquire new customers than to keep existing ones. You therefore need to know 2 important metrics: the customer acquisition cost and the customer lifetime value. The customer acquisition cost is the total amount you spend to acquire a new customer, including all marketing and sales expenses like salaries, headcount-related fees, charges for running ads, creating content, technical cost, all that stuff. The customer lifetime value, on the other hand, shows you how much money a customer spends with you over their lifetime. For example, if your product costs $10 per month and the average customer spends 2 months with you, your average customer lifetime value would be $20. And here is a quick ratio that will tell you pretty quick whether your company will fail or succeed. Compare your customer acquisition cost to the customer lifetime value. A good rule of thumb is to have a customer lifetime value to customer acquisition cost ratio of 3:1. This means that you're making 3 times more money on customers than it costs you to acquire them. If this ratio is closer to 1:1, that means you're not making any profit on customers. For example, when you spend $20 to get a new customer and customers only spend $20 with you, then your ratio would be 1-to-1. If the ratio is closer to 5-to-1, you can think about new ways to invest in new opportunities to get more customers and to not miss out on new marketing opportunities. Okay, so much for the retention part. The next important part in the Pirate Metrics framework is the referral phase. Here, the main question is, how can we get customers to recommend our service? Marketing is mostly expensive, but it does not have to be. If you get people to recommend your service, you can reduce your customer acquisition cost to pretty much zero. But how do you do that? Well, you need to think about ways to incentivize people to recommend your product to their friends or family. A very popular example for this is Dropbox, a service where you can upload files to the cloud and share it with other people. When you first start with Dropbox, you have a very limited cloud storage, but with every friend you successfully invite, you get more storage. This invitation system was so powerful that Dropbox gained a ton of new users very quickly. And that's an excellent example for us as well. You need to think about ways people want to invite their friends and what incentive they truly love. And here's a pro tip: don't use any useless badges or stickers. You need to make those incentives really valuable to people to make this referral phase work. And here's another pro tip: never interrupt your customers. Check this out. Don't show a pop-up while they're working and ask them to invite friends. Always make this invitation flow natural. For example, when a customer has finished a task successful, then you can kindly ask them to recommend it, but never interrupt them. This is just a bad user experience. And the last part in the Pirate Metrics framework is the revenue stage. In the revenue phase, we ask ourselves, how can we turn free customers into paying customers? When you have a SaaS business, a software as a service business, and you offer a free plan, here is the issue. What you don't want is that all of your customers are only using this free plan and nobody upgrades to your paid plans. At the end of the day, you want, or you rather need, to make revenue. So you need people to upgrade to your paid plan. So you need to measure and improve some metrics. How many customers become paying customers? What is the average order value? How many repeated customers do we have? And how often do they buy? So you want to track these numbers and you want to improve those metrics to grow your business and increase revenue. But always make sure that you're providing enough value for your customers. An excellent way to do so is, for example, to offer a free product or a free version of your product that helps people with their basic tasks. And at the same time, you show them that you have a premium plan, an upgraded version that provides even more features and that provides even more value to them. And then you just help them upgrade to your paid plans. And an excellent way to do so is via email. So for example, you could send your free users an email and tell them, hey, we have a premium version, check it out. We have a lot more features for you. We have a lot more value for you. So make sure you upgrade to those premium plans or to the premium plan as well. All right, that's the Pirate Metrics framework. Remember this, it splits your customer lifecycle into different phases: acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. Now I want to show you a second version of this framework that many startups use or many SaaS companies use, especially SaaS companies. So let's check it out so you can find out which version of this framework fits your company best. So the second framework, or the second version of this framework, is the RARRA framework, the AARRR framework. Man, that sounds complicated, but it's actually not. So this version of the framework is pretty much the same, but it changes the sequence based on the importance each step has. The sequence, therefore, is not acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. It is retention, activation, referral, revenue, acquisition. So this version of the framework focuses on the retention phase. And the reason behind that is that most SaaS companies do not fail because of poor customer acquisition, but because of customer churn, which means that customers stop doing business with you. They unsubscribe. Also, and we talked about this earlier, customer retention is much cheaper than customer acquisition. That's why it does make sense to put more emphasis on the retention phase. So which framework is better? Well, to cut the long story short, it doesn't matter. They are both valid tools. Just go for the one that fits your business best. For example, if you're a SaaS business, a SaaS company, I would go with the second framework because it focuses more on retention. If your retention is important, but not your main focus, go with the first framework. Both are great. Just keep two things in mind. First, always focus on important metrics. And second, keep in mind, real growth lies in customer retention, not in customer acquisition. Hey, I've got something for you. In the description below, you can download the Pirate Metrics framework for free. And you will learn all about the different questions you need to answer and the different metrics you need to measure your success. So download the worksheet right now. The Pirate Metrics framework is only one framework, only one worksheet that you can use to build a successful business. So comment below, what worksheets are you using? What frameworks are you using that help you build the business of your dreams? All right. I hope this episode was valuable to you and that you're having an amazing day. I'll see you in the next episode real soon.